Are you in your 30s or approaching your 30s and facing or the swerve? You have to swerve 30s sometimes, and trust me. Well, age becomes a big factor, and everything is really a factor after you reach 30. Let's talk about the roaring 30s with millennial blogger Colette Alithia. Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. So happy to be with you here.
Yeah, we're happy to have
Thank
you
you
as
so
well.
much for having me.
Very happy to have you as well. Girl, let's talk about the big 3-0. We
Yes,
really don't talk about the big 3-0 enough, trust me, right?
we absolutely don't.
What does it come with really that's so defining that we have to really pay attention to it?
For me, it was a big woman thing. I think in my 20s, I was still trying to explore who I was, what do I want to do, how do I want to go about doing it. And in my 20s, I also became a mother, but in my 30s, I became a mother of two. And I really ventured into being a very independent person away from my mother because in my 30s, my mother was diagnosed with dementia Alzheimer's. And when that happened, I realized I would not have my mother to help me raise my children, which is such a cultural thing to do. So I think hitting my 30s really pushed me into a big sense of independence.
Yeah, it really is a defining time as to who you are. If you were very confused before, I think the 30s help you to kind of shape who you should really
Yes.
become for survival. Really, survival. And I don't know about you, but I'm in my 30s as well. I went through the hormone changes. I went through the skin changes. I went through my face looking different. My hair went different. I cut my hair I think about 2 nights into having my son because I had really long hair and I went home and I was a mess and I just could
Oh,
not
yes.
comb hair as a priority anymore. So it went.
Yes. No, you know what? Absolutely, you're absolutely right. Even with my diet, like I can't eat certain things anymore. Your body is changing, and you start to think about the projection of your life. How do you want to live the rest of your life? And so your 30s become very a defining moment, you know? First, you want to try new things to make sure that you're not missing out on any opportunities that you missed out in your 20s. So your 30s are very defining and you get to challenge who are you and you get to challenge some of your own values that you've been holding on to that's been holding you back.
Yeah, and they'll say someone will ask you, what's the most important thing about your 30s that you're going to do? But it differs for everyone, doesn't it?
It does, and I think we should normalize that. Not everyone's going to be married, not everyone's going to have children, not everyone's going to be able to travel, not everyone can buy a house right now, not everyone's in their career right now. So let's just normalize being human and just be grateful for like where we are today instead of trying to throw all these labels on each other and put down each other. Let's just have a good time in our 30s, you
Yeah.
know? Like right now, so many 30-year-olds, women especially, are wearing crop tops. We're embracing our beauty, plus size or not. So why not? Why not enjoy your 30s? It looks different for everyone.
Yeah, and it's true that
Yeah.
from my experience at least, the 30s for women is different for 30s for men. Because my friends and I, we have this conversation and we don't get that kind of pressure that women face, get married, have kids, start a family. And why do you think that continues?
I only believe that continues because women, in terms of our biological clock, our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, our friends, everyone is in our ears. Like, okay, so you're approaching 36. What's next? Have you met someone? The pressure is on in that sense. And it's really difficult. It makes you, I feel like in those harsh conversations, we are pushing women into toxic and unhealthy relationships and we are partnering with the wrong people. So I think it differs because of the biological clock, and I think we should stop making that a priority and allow us to grow into the right relationships that we should be in, promising and loving and caring and fulfilling instead of pushing just having a baby.
Yeah. What's the biggest health mistake that you've made in your 30s?
For me, okay, so in my 20s, I was diagnosed with gastritis and IBS, and that really set me back a whole lot. In my 30s, I had my fourth child actually last year, and I had a huge uproar in my stomach. It was huge inflammation. and I had to change my diet completely. I couldn't have KFC, I couldn't have pizza, I couldn't have barbecue chicken. But I had to make those changes so that way I can think about my tomorrow and be able to raise my children in a positive way.
Yeah,
And as you can hear,
we hear
Yeah, we're
that.
hearing it. No, trust me, I have one
Try-
child, and my house sounds very similar, so I can relate. Moms can
Thank
relate.
you for understanding. I still let them know, but here we are.
Yeah, I did this. I did a similar thing recently where I've stopped eating meat. Well, I started it in April, and I'm continuing it now in May. It has not been, the easiest choice to make, but my body has felt so much different. But I totally agree with you about making that choice because. You start thinking about your health when you have kids, about how, you're kind of healing your body and preserving your body for time to come. So let's talk about now being a mother, balancing it all with 4 children and a mother with dementia and your own goals, that of your relationship with your partner. How do you do it all?
It takes a community. Period. It takes if you have your mom or your dad, it takes them. If you have a best friend, it takes them. If you're cousins, it takes them. It takes a community. There is no way. Right now, I have someone staying with my kids. Yes, they're making some noise in the background, but they're here. There is no way I could be here today if I didn't have the extra hands to help me. Um, Also, I think, especially without getting too personal with my last 3 children, um, my partner, your partner makes a big difference. Who are you partnering with? So that helped a whole lot with being able to even manage having my mom who's living with dementia Alzheimer's. She's living with me now. And if I didn't have the right partner, then I would have to basically choose between my mother and my partner, or my partner and my children. So having the right partner, having the right community makes a huge difference in how I'm able to, move from day to day with my family.
Yeah.
So as you go through your 30s now and you encourage people to go through it together, the next step is 40s. How are you preparing for that?
I'm going to keep it really simple. I have learned to have confidence in the giftings that I have and my purpose. So I intend to walk into my 40s with a lot of boldness. I played myself down for such a long time, and my 30s have become so pivotal for me to really step into my purpose. I intend to, with everything I have in me, to step into my 40s with absolute confidence, knowing who I am and taking charge of my life. And so when I close my eyes, whatever that looks like, I can confidently say I had a beautiful life. That is how I'm going to enter my 40s.
Like,
I love that.
yeah.
I love that. You are such an inspiration. And happy Mother's Day to you. You are.
Same to you, Debbie.
Thank you. Thank you. Moms rock. High five.
High five, girl.
High five.
High five.
Yeah. So and you have a podcast and YouTube. So the podcast and the YouTube channel called The Roaring 30s.
Yes, it is.
So if you want to find out more of our content, if you want to subscribe, that's the place to be. So tell yourself you're living a life that is right for you. Take it one
Yes.
day at a time.
One day at a time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Colette, for sharing.